Hyundai's IONIQ 6 just released and journalists get their hand on it. Overall, we are hearing good reviews about the car. This is second car from Hyundai that's completely electric. Before this, Hyundai launched IONIQ 5, whose design language shook the car industry. Some even say that was the rumored Apple car. Before we move on this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. IONIQ 6 have taken a lot of things from its predecessor. The IONIQ 6 isn't without the odd foible, but it does manage to feel another step on from the already impressive 5. The body style and packaging mean it won't be for everyone, but it's a more inspiring package dynamically, building on many of the strengths of the IONIQ 5. That should be enough for it to be one of 2023's hottest EVs. The range starts at £46,745 for the premium rear-wheel drive, rising to £53,745 for the ultimate all-wheel drive. That puts the IONIQ 6 in Tesla Model 3 and Polestar 2 territory. It will need to be good to compete here. Evolved from the stunning Prophecy concept car, the IONIQ 6's design brings to mind the Mercedes-Benz CLS, but is apparently inspired by Streamliner designs of classic coach-built cars from the 1930s, themselves inspired by earlier leaps in aircraft aerodynamics. Together with detailed touches including flush door handles, active front air flaps and an important if seemingly inconsequential piece of trim in the front wheel arch, the IONIQ 6's coefficient of drag tumbles to 0.21 CD, much better than the IONIQ 5's bluffer 0.29 CD and one of the lowest of any car on sale. At 4,855mm long, the IONIQ 6 is a significant 220mm longer than the IONIQ 5, and while its long arc of a roofline peaks much lower, it's still 60mm or so taller than a BMW 3 Series, explaining why there's so much room inside, and why it looks somewhat tall and skinny. We'd certainly say the IONIQ 5 is the more cohesive design overall. Inside you're greeted by a spacious interior and a slick, clean feel courtesy of aluminium look buttons, hidden until lit control buttons and twin 12-inch screens that combine to provide infotainment controls and a digital instrument binnacle. Spec the optional digital side view mirrors and 2 digital screens angle out from either end of the dash. The smaller surface area of the camera pods mounted to the bodywork produces less drag and accounts for almost a mile of the maximum driving range figure. Hyundai IONIQ 6 driving. The top spec IONIQ 6 with the big battery, all-wheel drive and 20-inch alloys. Hyundai has done a good job finessing the IONIQ 6 powertrain, so it's a very natural machine to just jump in and drive. The accelerator response feels prompt without being edgy, and the brakes are similarly well judged in their response. You can adjust the experience through Eco, Normal and Sport modes, and increase or decrease the level of regen. How strong the deceleration feels when you release the throttle, with gearshift paddles on the steering wheel, but the overriding sense is always harmonious with nicely calibrated control. This is a largely refined driving experience at speed too. Wind and road noise are well suppressed on the motorway, with acoustic glass, decoupled, carpets and specially optimized Pirelli tires all playing a part, and the suspension mostly strides with lulling if nicely controlled movements. Fluid-filled lower suspension arm bushers and variable flow shock absorbers that adjust damping force to vehicle speed help here, though there's still room for improvement over smaller imperfections, where the IONIQ 6 can be a little too reactive. Promisingly, the IONIQ 6 does flow nicely over twisted roads. Its steering has a chunky, consistent feel from lock to lock, which helps build driver confidence. The chassis darts into corners keenly. You really sense that the battery's weight is low and centered between the axles, and the suspension makes it easy to stitch together sequences of corners in a smooth, fluid rhythm. It's still away from a Tesla Model 3's perkiness, but UK cars will get a bespoke chassis tune aimed at sharpening the dynamics up, so we'll revisit these comments then. Performance surges keenly from rest to high motorway speeds, but it's best described as perfectly strong enough rather than particularly lusty, just as the 5.1 seconds 0 to 62 miles per hour time suggests. You don't need more urge than this for regular driving, but might want a bit more. 3 intensities of futuristically fizzy soundtrack can accompany your drive, culminating with Largest Change, which sounds like you're being buzzed by an electric plane, but our preference was to knock it all off and bask in the silence. There's no doubt the IONIQ 6 would look better with a lower roofline, but the payoff is a loungy, spacious and highly relaxing feel inside. Those over 6 feet tall have good headroom, and deeply contoured door casings leave plenty of room to hang your knee at an angle. Even the standard seats car are highly comfortable with nicely padded bases. Though optional relaxation comfort seats will take this a step further. There's no shortage of storage up front either, including a long flat tray beneath the floating center console and a central storage cubby so deep it's surprising you don't drag your fingertips along the road. But it's in the back that you really feel the benefit. A 2,950mm wheelbase might be 50mm shorter than the IONIQ 5, But there's a limousine-like chasm between knees and the front seatbacks, plus a flat floor and still plenty of headroom for 6-footers. You can properly stretch out. The boot aperture is a little narrow and awkwardly shaped, but there's plenty of space once you get in there. There are no figures, but insiders hint at Tesla Model 3 levels of luggage space in the boot, if not the negligible frunk or fruit. The IONIQ 6 might not have the retro boxy cool of the 5, but it's hard to ignore its huge 69-mile maximum improvement in range to 384 miles unlocked by its sleek shape, especially if you want to use your electric car for longer, more frequent trips. Inside, the IONIQ 6 is spacious, relaxing and nicely designed, and reveals a similarly calming character on the move. Plus, it's more than capable of stepping up to the plate over more sinuous test routes. We look forward to revisiting it in full UK spec soon. For more videos like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.